Reached its conclusion this weekend in round 20 of the 2025 World Championship. It's the Petronas Grand Prix Malaysia at the Sepang International Circuit, and it's a special weekend as this weekend is the 25th time MotoGP has raced this stunning circuit. We're back in Southeast Asia after our recent trips to both Japan and Indonesia with our top three from last Sunday's Australian Grand Prix at Phillip Island, led by Aprilia Racing's Marco Bezzecchi. Marco winning the sprint in the last two rounds and third in the Australian Grand Prix, moved him up to third now overall in the World Championship. To Marco's right, we welcome Pertamina Enduro VR46 Racing team rider Fabio Di Giannantonio. Fabio on the podium last weekend for the third time in 2025 and up to sixth now in the World Championship. And completing today's lineup is Trackhouse MotoGP team rider Raul Fernandez. Raul winning his first MotoGP race last Sunday in Australia, the seventh different winner in 2025, the fifth different winner in the last five races. And today, the number 25 celebrates his 25th birthday. So happy birthday from MotoGP fans all around the world. Maybe this pre-event press conference will be a little bit quieter than the one we had in this very room 10 years ago. That race, of course, in 2015. We'll start, though, with you, Marco. You've won the last two sprints. Clearly had the speed to win the last two Grand Prix on Sundays as well. Do you feel the potential, given the level of Aprilia right now, is there for you to go for the double win again this weekend?
Well, it's difficult to say. Of course, we've been very competitive in the last couple of GPs, but as you know, every track is a little bit different. Actually, I'm super happy to be here because it's the only track where I have a bit of reference from the testing, and I have to say that we were struggling a bit. So I'm very curious to see how will be the first reaction with the bike and the first sensation in this amazing track. So yeah, very happy. Hopefully we can do another good weekend.
Michael, like you say, when you came here for the test in February, I think you'd had one day on the RSGP. That was in Barcelona last November. A lot has changed in those months since then. What would you say is the biggest change you made to your riding style in that period? And what's been the biggest improvement on the Aprilia?
Regarding the riding, I had to change many things because, as you know, every bike has his own strong point and weak point. So I had to adapt my style to the Aprilia, and I had to work a lot to change a bit my automatism on the riding. But also all the engineers and all the guys working for Aprilia, they did an amazing job. We've been working super hard since the beginning, and they also made many improvements on the bike. So it's difficult to tell you only one. Maybe for my personal point of view, the one that helped me the most was the stability in braking.
And just finally, Marco, last weekend in Australia was your seventh podium of 2025, which is actually a new record by an Aprilia rider in a single season in history, beating Aleix Espargaro, who had six in 2022. Given it wasn't an easy start to this season, Marco, changing bikes was always going to be difficult. The extra responsibility as well of being a factory rider, a leading development. How satisfying is it to have been so strong in the second half of the season, made this constant progress throughout?
No, it's good. It's very good. I'm happy, of course. All the team and all the factory are also happy. But still, we have three complete rounds to go here, and also two more in Europe, back in Europe. So it's good to be happy. We have to enjoy the moment, of course, but also we have to stay focused to try to keep improving and keep working on the right direction to also build a good base for the next year.
Marco, best luck to you and the team here.
Thank you.
This weekend. We'll come on then to Fabio Di Giannantonio. First of all, Fabio, you were suffering with a fever, a little bit of illness last weekend in Phillip Island. Podiums tend to be a good medicine. So how are you feeling now on your arrival here in Malaysia?
Yeah, well, for sure I'm better than Australia. I was feeling so bad after the race. Everybody was thinking that I was enjoying the party in the night after the podium, but I was at the bed like at 9 or 8:30 something. It was really bad. Now I'm better for sure. The sweet feeling of the podium allows you to arrive here with a lot of motivation. So feel ready to start. Can't wait to join, as Marco said, this beautiful track. It's also been a while since I ride here, because the last time we came here for the test, I did just, I don't know, like 20 or 20 something laps, and then unfortunately I got injured, so really can't wait to start the weekend.
You've almost answered my next question, Fabio. Of course, you missed the race here last year while you were recovering from the shoulder operation. Of course, unfortunately, the injury again, as you mentioned, in the February test. So not much track time here recently compared to some of the other riders. Is that a disadvantage for you, or something you can deal with quite comfortably?
Well, for sure, when you arrive to a race weekend, a race track, that you have a lot of data from the past, it helps you to start from a base, or you have data where to work on. For us, this weekend it will be almost a white page, also because I never done a super good job here in this track in MotoGP, so it will be a nice challenge coming from a podium, arriving here with not much data, and try to make another good weekend, so it will be a challenge.
Ducati, Fabio, have won the last, well, they've won both sprints here in Malaysia. They've won the last 3 Grand Prix here in Sepang. So despite the inconsistency maybe of the GP25, do you see this an opportunity? We're looking for our 6th different winner in the last 6 Grand Prix. Do you think you can be that rider?
For sure, I arrive here, try to do the maximum, and the win is the goal. You know, I never start a weekend without thinking that I can win the race. Sorry. It was too funny,
yeah,
sorry.
For those at home, we just had a journalist crawling across the floor to get to his seat. That's what's distracted Fabio.
Yeah, sorry. but yeah, let's see. I wanna be with the feet on the ground, honestly, because we saw, as you said, the 25 bike has always been a bit inconsistent this season. So we'll try to do our best, a part of the result.
Fabio, best of luck to you this weekend. We'll come on then to, well, our newest MotoGP race winner, Trackhouse MotoGP teams, Raul Fernandez. First of all, Raul, happy birthday. Don't worry, I'm not going to sing because nobody in this room has earplugs. You kept saying on Sunday you couldn't believe you'd won your first MotoGP race. You've had a few days now for it to sink in. So what have these last few days been like now you are a MotoGP winner?
Yeah, now one of my dreams come like a true. And yeah, of course, it was very nice. It was one of my best moments on my career, but also I think it was very important for the team. Now I believe it, that we get it. But anyway, I am very happy for the team. I think Trackhouse was the team that doesn't have a victory in MotoGP. So it was the first one also for them, but I am very happy because still they are very young team on a MotoGP, so yeah, I'm very happy also for them, and now I can say that I believe it, that we get it.
You won Phillip Island, but I believe you've lost some hair, a bit lighter for the straights here in Sepang this weekend. Tell us the story about the head shave.
It was like 2-3 years ago, the first time that I come to the box, because in Moto2 I had the same crew chief that I have now, so we had a bet with him and also with Tic Tic. So the last year when we saw that Miguel got the first sprint podium, we decide, or he decides to come to bet with us also. If we get a podium on the main race, we cut the hair.
Come on then, we'll have to see. Take the camera.
Yeah, it's something like this.
There we go. I bet that was a bit cold in Phillip Island on Monday, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was crazy, yeah, but it was on the dinner on Sunday and was a fantastic moment with all the team.
Great to see you finally got that moment. Back in Sepang, of course, the last 2 pre-seasons, Raul, have been very, very difficult experiences for you here. The current Aprilia, though, looks so strong, so competitive. So do you believe you could be in the fight for the win again here this weekend?
Well, I don't know really well where we will be during the weekend. I know that Aprilia make a big step during the last, I think, 3-4 races. Also, in my case, now I feel even more comfortable. I feel relaxed on the bike, and it's helped to me a lot. It's true that during the last 2 years that I was here with Aprilia, especially on the GPs, the GPs was not like on the test. I mean, for some reason, we don't get something really positive during the weekend, but this year the history is a little bit different, so I believe a lot that they will work even harder than on the past to try to find something if in case that we are not really competitive tomorrow.
Have a great weekend to you as well, Raul. MotoGP Social, of course, coming up a little bit later on, but for the time being, we'll invite questions, please, from the media. Thank you very much.
Hello, here Borja González for the Zone. Two questions, one for Marco. Do you feel now like the strongest rider in the grid?
No, because I'm not leading the championship.
But now, in this moment, I mean, I know that you are not leading and the leader is not here, but what we see in the last GPs?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how to answer to you. It's a very complicated question. As you know, in sport, it's difficult. Most of the time are moments, you know, but this doesn't really make the difference. The difference, you can make the difference when you are constantly at your top. And I'm trying to do this, but I don't think that right now I'm at that point.
Thank you. And another one for Raul. Raul, how has been these 4 days? I mean, in terms of when you are alone there with the telephone, checking the social media and all the messages you are receiving, the big difference that it is between these days and maybe 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, it was the big difference. I have a lot of messages on the social media, but anyway, I try to keep in my rituals to come here. Again, we know that we had another races, so I am trying always to be focused because I think for us it's important to end well the Asia Tour. So basically, I'm trying to be very focused. Yes, the thing is I had a lot of messages on the phone.
Thank you.
Hello, Melat Hércules, Diario E San Cadena Ser. Sorry, Dilla. It's a question for Marco and Raul. I would like your opinion about Fabiano Sterlachini. How is to work with him? I was speaking with him and tell me very well about you, both. And I would like to know your opinion about him. Thank you.
Well, personally, for me, is first of all a super intelligent person in general, not just on motorbikes side. But in general, you can speak about everything, and he knows many things, and this is super cool because having a conversation also outside from racing is super nice with him. In terms of racing, for sure, his know-how is super big, and he has a lot of experience, but he has also a nice character, so he's not doesn't put you in a difficult situation when you speak sometimes with some engineers. They are, I mean, I feel a bit less than them in terms of
it's great to give
knowledge, let's say. With Fabiano, he's super different. He's amazing to stay with him, but he has a lot of experience, and he's super calm, super professional, and I feel very good with him.
Well, in my case, I don't have. I have a really good relationship with him, but I cannot spend a lot of time with him, like Marco. I am agree with what Marco say. He's super smart, but also for me, it was a little bit strange at the beginning because I had the possibility to work with him in KTM when I just come to MotoGP, but we don't really work together. This year, at the beginning of the season, for my injury, I don't have time enough to work with him. But during the last GPs, I think he was the person that more helping me to make the last step to arrive to this kind of position. No? So basically, I am super happy to work with him. It's true that he's super good person, but also in my case, he helped to me a lot, especially on the last moment when I had to make the last step.
Good afternoon. This is Thomas Kuttrup for Speedweek.com. Another question to Marco, please. Marco, in the early phase of the season, you had quite a long period to work with Sava. And obviously, from this, you made a big positive outcome overall, also for the bike development. Now you have like a second phase working with Sava during the races. Is this changed now, the way you work together in the later part of the season? How would you describe the work now in October with Savadori during the races?
Really different. I mean, Sava is a super good test rider, and we are very lucky to have him in the team. But unfortunately, this season, compared to the previous ones, where also I wasn't in Aprilia, having the issue from Jorge missing, that was a pity for all the team and for us as well. Sava couldn't really test a lot because he had to replace Jorge. And regarding myself, there is not a big difference. Maybe he had to approach the season in a different way. Instead of testing, he did racing. But for me, is everything the same. Sava is always good.
Question for Marco and Raul. How important is this track to confirm the improvements Aprilia have made in the last few months? If one of you ends up winning on Sunday, would that mean Aprilia have the fastest bike outright?
I don't understand the last part, sorry.
If one of you ends up winning on Sunday, would that confirm that Aprilia have the fastest bike outright?
Well, first of all, will be interesting to try this track once again, because as we said, is the first track that we already rode the bike. Of course, we made many changes during the season so far, so will be important to try to see how we improved, and hopefully we can be good.
For me, it's more personally this track, because the last two pre-season I had injuries, so it's more to see how I am, how I feel on the track. Of course, it will be important to know if the bike is working also here, because I don't know, and I don't try another bike. So basically, I cannot tell you where is our bike, but it's true that if here we are again competitive, will be very important for the next year, because we will have a very good data. So I don't know about the bike, about the question. Yes, I know that if we get something really good here, will be important for the next year.
Alvin from Tarmac Sports. Question to Raul. So Raul, again, congratulations on your last week's victory. Just a question, how do you carry the momentum from last week's victory to Sepang, where you did not participate in the Sepang test? So how do you compare that to others who have more testing time?
I think it's important to have some data from the test, but it's not really important because it was almost 1 year ago. So I mean, I will try to prepare as always the GP. I will try to work well with the team to make well a Friday, but this is now the key or the big change that we make on the last races.
Okay, I think the media are happy, so we'll now hand over to my colleague, Mr. Kiko Giles, for this week's MotoGP Social.
Thanks, Matt. Hello and welcome to MotoGP Social. Last week we were trying to pick the odd one out from all things Australian. This weekend it is slightly different as we welcome three very special guests. I'd like to welcome the Gibbon family to MotoGP with Yolanda, her husband Matthew and their daughter Bianca. They've travelled 11 hours all the way from Johannesburg in South Africa to join us today. So not the shortest of journeys, but they're no strangers to Sepang, having visited us in 2010 and in 2023. It's going to be their turn to ask you some questions, so without further ado, let's get down to business with our press conference guest. Yolanda, take it away.
Hi, Marco. My question to you. I'd like to know, what kind of ritual do you have to get into the zone and prepare before you get onto the bike?
Difficult to explain because unfortunately I have many, and but yeah, normally I try just to have a similar schedule every Sunday or every Saturday, so I try to do the same things overall every race day, starting from the work with the team, trying to approach the work in the same way, with the same method, let's say. And then also another important part for me is when I get dressed with the leather. I always try to warm myself, try to stay in my room. I don't like to speak too much before the race, so maybe sometimes if the people see me, I look a little bit not super friendly, but it's just because I'm trying to calm myself down, and then yeah, I prepare me always in the same way, give an high five to my team, and then I go.
The next question I have is for Fabio. Tell us something about yourself that nobody knows.
Easy one.
Thank you for this super good question. Okay. Well, I try to go with an easy one, for real. I'm super scared about spiders. Like, I love reptiles, for example, but I'm super scared about spiders. So if I see a spider, I would scream or jump or do something stupid, you know, yeah. So maybe something that nobody knows, yeah.
Thank you. And then for Raul, I'm seeing that you are the latest winner of MotoGP. Is there any specific methods or past legends that you follow to inspire you for your riding style?
Whoa, it's difficult. For example, one of my idols was Casey, Valentino, also Marc, but we cannot really copy his style on the bike because their bike was quite different, so maybe we can copy another things. Yes, I can say that on riding style it's quite difficult to copy something.
I'm glad to report there are no spiders, Fabio, in here at the moment. You're all right. Guys, a quick question to you. Have you enjoyed your experience here so far?
Absolutely amazing.
We wish you all the best for the rest of the Petronas Grand Prix of Malaysia in 2025. But for the moment, Matt, back to you for a happy birthday rendition to Raul, I hope.
I'm not going to start singing happy birthday. Don't worry. Guys, if we can ask you to stand for the official photograph, that will conclude today's pre-event press conference here in Malaysia. And as they made such a long journey to get to Sepang, I'd like to invite Yolanda, Matthew and Bianca onto the stage as well to join the guys.